I got off at the stop and he got off too. Same stop. What's up, my babies? Welcome back to my channel. Today's video is another story time of kind of something scary that's happened to me, and I usually get paranoid about things like this, but this was one that I think was real and really like scared the life out of me. So I'm just gonna jump right into it, as we YouTubers say. So I would take the train from San Diego State to Orange County, where I live, when I went to school there. And it was very easy. It went right by my house, and the train in San Diego was Old Town, San Diego. That was the station. And then there was a trolley that went right to San Diego State. So Old Town, I don't know if it's just not the best area, but there's a lot of just sketchy people. I hope that's not me being judgmental. That's just how I perceived it. So I was by myself, and I got to Old Town. Everything was great, and I was waiting for the trolley, and there was this guy who just seemed like very odd, just walking around, like really just gave me uncomfortable vibes. And he ended up getting on the same trolley as me, and I tried to like sit with a family, like try and make it so I was with people, but for some reason, I don't know how it happened, I ended up sitting by myself on the trolley. I think the family might have gotten off or something like that, or there wasn't room near them, so I was sitting by myself. I was just sitting there minding my own business, and I noticed he like was just actively staring at me, like eyeing me down, and it was making me so uncomfortable. I was thinking, oh my gosh, like what is gonna happen? What does this guy want? So he came up to me. He came up to me. I said that so nonchalantly. Like, he ended up walking over to me, and I'm just thinking, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. What does he want from me? So he came up to me, and he was like, hey, like, what's your name? And I said, I think Alex. Like, I just gave him some, like, random name. And he was like, oh, did you want to check out my SoundCloud? And he gave me, like, a piece of paper with his SoundCloud on it. And I was thinking, really? That's what this is? And I was like, okay, yeah, sure. And so then he walked back to his seat, and I was like, all right, cool. Like, that's all he wanted. It wasn't all he wanted. So then he continued to stare at me in a really uncomfortable way. He ended up coming up to me again, and he was like, so, how old are you? And so in my mind, I was thinking, all right, like, maybe he's, like, attracted to me, like, whatever. And so I was like, all right, if he thinks I'm underage, he'll leave me alone. So I said 17. Maybe I said 16. I said one of those, because I look young. I knew I could pass it off. And so then he was like, oh, okay. And there's, like, a guy behind me who, like, laughed because he knew what was happening. And then he's like, do you go to San Diego State? And I said, no, I said no. But then I realized, like, 5 seconds later, I'm getting off at the San Diego State trolley stop. Great job, Allie. He ended up sitting back down, and I still just felt really uncomfortable. And so then we got to the San Diego State stop, and San Diego State stop. And I pretended to be on the phone with my friend, and I was like making up a conversation about like how I'm like, yeah, I'm here, like, what dorm are you in? Like, I'm about to be at your dorm, like making things so one, he thought I was just visiting someone still like not of age, and two, so he knew like someone was waiting for me and knew where I was. And I ended up getting a picture of him. If I can find it, I'll put it right here, just because I was like, this guy is creepy, like. But I got off at the stop, and he got off too. Same stop. And so then you like got off, and there was an escalator because this was like underground, so there was an escalator, and then you were on campus. I ran up the escalator and ran to the Starbucks that was right in the student union, because it was the closest like open place. And this was nighttime. I don't know if I mentioned that. It was nighttime. This was not during the day. And so I ran to the Starbucks, and I found someone like I knew in there, and I like explained what happened, and I was freaking out. And I asked them if they were like going home, and they weren't. So I was gonna ask them to walk me home, but they were doing something else. And so I ended up like calling the what it was called. I'll type it out. But it was basically like you could call in numbers like campus security and people would come and walk you home or walk you somewhere on campus just if you didn't feel safe. So then these 3 like security officer people, they came and they walked me home because I was just afraid. I'm like, the Starbucks, that was on the opposite end of campus. I'm gonna put a campus map right here. It was a fairly large campus and I did not want to walk all the way across at night by myself. Because there had been like emails that we had gotten recently about people who had like gotten attacked at night. And so I was freaking out. So yeah, I called them, they walked me home, I got home safe, but I was tripping. Like it was scary. And I've never been in a situation like that before. So I was just, and like I said to myself, which is really sad, I said to myself in the Starbucks, I was like, oh, I wish I was like wearing more clothes because I'm pretty sure I was wearing like shorts and a crop top. But that is such a bad attitude to have. It doesn't matter what the hell you're wearing. You don't deserve anything like that. And so it was really scary. And I honestly, this was one of the many instances that not prove, but that kind of go with my argument of why I don't like big cities. San Diego isn't like a huge city, but I've had problems in San Diego, Atlanta, Portland, Boston, LA, obviously. So five pretty big-ish cities, like LA and Atlanta, and like most of them are pretty big cities that I've had scary or anxiety-filled situations in. And so I have really bad anxiety when I'm in cities, and so that's why I try and like stay away from them. I like my life in the suburbs. But yeah, that's the story of the time I was followed. I know it's no like Tana Mojo in an Uber almost getting killed, but like this was pretty scary for me. Like I said, I'm really dragging this out. I had never had anything like this happen to me, because usually I try to never be by myself in a lot of situations, but this time I happened to be by myself, and that's the tea. So thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you liked it, give it a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed, go hit that subscribe button. I put out new videos every Tuesdays and Thursday. I love you guys. I'll see you next time.